Good morning, this is Celeste from Sulcata Grove. If you haven't been to our channel before, we have a 2-acre fruit farm in Sarasota, Florida. And I was just gonna go do a little walk around the mango trees today to see what's blooming this year. So we had a big freeze last January, which killed off all of our mango bloom. And I still haven't put potassium on the trees this year because I was waiting to kind of delay flowering a little bit, but it looks like we're going to be above normal temperatures through April at least. So we will probably add some potassium and stuff this week. But this is my P22 tree. I planted this as I think 15 gallon. It was either 15 or 25 because we lost one this past year. So no flowers on it yet, but it hasn't popped out. This is the dwarf Hawaiian, and we think it's coming back above the graft, but we're not 100% sure. The leaves don't look quite as thin as dwarf Hawaiian, so it's possible that it's coming up above the graft. But anyway, we will see what happens when the flowers open. There's some little flowers on it. And then over here, this is an Alpar Banishan. I think it was a 3 gallon, and I got this really recently, like fall 2022. And then over here, this is our lemon zest. This was one of the first trees I think that we planted maybe in 2012. So it would be 11 years old now, and it's got some bloom on it. Last year it was just loaded, and we were so excited that we were gonna have a really good crop, but then it all froze. And this is our pickering tree, and it has a decent amount of flowers started. Looks like almost every single branch. This was our cogshaw. We ended up, it got destroyed in the freeze, but we're gonna end up grafting onto that. And we'll walk back over this way. Our lychees are starting to flower too. That's our Mauritius lychee, and then our tiny little butterscotch sapodilla. Peaches are blooming, and they have fruit. And this is Namdok Mai. So it has flower on it. Craig grafted I think sunrise onto this. So this branch is sunrise, and then the rest is Namdok Mai. Here is our lemon meringue tree. It has flowers just starting to come out now in a few places. And this tree is Valencia Pride. So we did a heavy prune on it, I guess in 2021, and then it got hit hard by the freeze. And then we did not prune any of the mango trees last year. So we were just letting everything like fully recover from the freeze. But no flower on it yet, but it's usually late. Our other tree that's usually really late in flowering is our Harvest Moon mango, and it is covered this year. This might be the biggest bloom we've had on this tree. So a lot of flowers on it. This was our dot tree, so it got hit hard by the freeze, and then it also fell completely over in the hurricane. So Craig has added some grafts. He's gonna add more. We just didn't have a lot of good budwood. So I think, let's see, he put on M4, I think Kesar, Karen Michelle. I'm allergic to mango leaves, so I'm trying not to touch anything. I think Bombay maybe. This is an M4 tree. So this replaced the one that we lost last year. And it has a good amount of flowers. I think I bought this as a 7 gallon last year. And this is a 3 gallon sugarloaf that was planted last year to replace one we lost. The big run tree we're getting rid of. We may end up top working it, we'll see. Orange sherbet had a rough time last year, but it's alive. And then behind it is cac, which has a lot of flowers on it. And then coming over on the west side of our yard, we are still trying to catch up from just all the maintenance we had in the yard today last year in 2022 from the freeze and then the hurricane. So it's just been a lot of labor on our part getting the yard back to normal. This is Pineapple Pleasure, which froze all the way back. Not sure if it's coming back from above the graft or not. This is Ugly Betty, no flowers yet that I see on it. And Chacanon, no flowers on it. Oh, it looks like, I don't know if that was all the tips are kind of burned off, they look like. So I don't know what's going on with that tree. This is Valkyrie. So this was labeled as Beverly when we got it, but it turned out to be Valkyrie. It's got a little bit of bloom on it. And this is Tyler Supreme, I think people are calling it. Not Tyler Premier, it's like a seedling from Tyler Premier that was down at the repository that people liked. So people grafted it, and I think Tyler Supreme is what it was being called by a few growers. We don't really like this fruit, so we haven't done anything to this tree. I think it might end up getting top work too. The first mango tree to bloom for us this year was Ice Cream. So it has a few different stages of flower on it. It smells really good right now. This is our Sweetheart Mango. Has flowers on it. This is Fruit Punch. Our fruit punch tree has never been super productive. It doesn't get any afternoon sun. I'm not sure if that's part of the reason. It has a lot of fertilizer because we buried an oak tree here a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago, in this pit, and we put a lot of compost and stuff right beside it. This is our cotton candy. This is probably the most it's flowered since we've had it. And again, it's under a pine tree. It gets morning sun, but not a lot of afternoon sun. This is our struggling sugarloaf. I'm not real sure what else is going on with it. It's just had a really, just a really hard time. It's been through a lot since it's been planted. And this is Super Alfonso. This was planted as a 7-gallon this year, or last year at the end of 2022, I think, to replace a tree we lost. And then this was the Allen Parr Vanishan that Craig ran over, and it seems to be coming back above the graft. There's a little tiny piece that I think is above the graft where it's coming out, so I'll just leave that for now. I might put a little flag beside it or something so it doesn't get mowed over again. This is Pina Colada, which has some flower on it. Because of the freeze, the trees all did get pruned back really hard because we had to remove all that dead stuff. And so they've now had a full year to recover from the freeze, and they're flowering really great. The Glen tree is just starting to put out flower. It's probably, if I could only have one tree, I would probably have a Glen just because it's a versatile mango. And I really like making mango salsa and smoothies, and it's just good all around basic flavored mango, super productive. Doesn't grow too crazy, although it looks a little crazy now because it didn't get pruned. This one also didn't get hit hard by the freeze, so it's one that we should have pruned. It did fruit last year for us. And then the other tree that didn't get hit hard by the freeze that produced was Maha Chinook. And it's one that we definitely should have pruned because it is getting really big now. So after this year, we'll probably prune it. The issue is our county won't pick up any limbs unless they are bundled or in a can. And when you prune larger mango trees, you have a ton of wood. And I'm really sensitive, like we can't burn it because it releases something in the air. I ended up getting like chemical pneumonia, I think the doctor said, from Craig burning a couple of limbs. So some people might not be sensitive. I know I've heard like they burn mango leaves in India, I think it is. But I'm super sensitive to it, and I certainly don't want to have us burning stuff that other people in our neighborhood might be sensitive to. So we will see what we end up doing with those. There's our cat Alpha. And then over here, I think this is the last mango in the yard. This is a dwarf Hawaiian. The burn part is we came out, it got like it got below 32 this year. And Craig came out with a flamethrower, and we were just trying to warm the ground, and he got a little too close. He was like heating bricks under the trees, and so that just burned off the limbs. It just got too hot. But there's new growth coming out of where it got burned. So I think that is it for the mango tree update. I appreciate y'all watching. I would love to hear how your mango trees are doing, what's flowering in your yard. And that's it. I will talk to y'all next time. Bye.